Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today, Friday morning, finally Friday. It's September 10th, 2021. The man they call Meathead, Matthew Thomas. Tomorrow, Matthew, is going to be a big day. It's the 20th anniversary of 9/11. But today, we're going to be talking about a little bit of wrestling. Some from New York City, some from Cincinnati. Good morning, Matthew.
Hey, good morning. Wrestling just going on across all over the great United States.
Speaking of everything across the United States, when people are putting on their clothes, wrestling gear-wise, what are they wearing?
You know, they wear this brand of clothing that I'm about to speak. They wear them all over the country. There is a garment in every state I'm almost certain of. It's Collar and Elbow brand. They're available at collarandelbowbrand.com. You head on over there, you select what you want to wear, and then you enter promo code Linda K, LINDA KAY, save you 10%. You can take that 10%. The 10% that I saved, I took it yesterday and I bought some discount meat. You can get some great discount meat at your local butcher at the discount meat section. So you can actually use the money that you save on your collar and elbow purchase to feed yourself and your family.
Discount meat. Now, how's your colon taking that announcement?
No, it's fine. It's just you gotta eat it before it's expired. You either have to eat it or you freeze it, and then basically anything that you put in the freezer, it stops time. It's the closest that you can come to a time machine. If you want to basically just hit pause on time, just stick whatever you want to hit pause on time to in the freezer, and you're good.
Cooking and freezing tips from the M.O.T.S, Matthew Thomas. All right,
that's what I try to do. I'm not just a one-trick pony. I'm not just here to tell people about professional wrestling. I'm here to, tell them how to stretch their to stretch their meat money a little bit further.
Meat money. I feel like that was a gangster name I had back in college. All right, let's talk. I mean, it's not like Gator. Better not be talking to Gator like that. Gator's girls better be wearing Jimmys. All right, here we go. Let's talk a little bit of wrestling. First off, big news popping off on AEW. Their show Dynamite on Wednesday night, second biggest audience they've ever had. They drew a 1.3 million viewers, which is up from the 1.04 that they had just previously a week ago. Dynamite's on fire right now.
It's a company hitting its stride is what it is. And it's great to hear. It doesn't surprise me because they're doing a lot of things right, and they are, generating a ton of buzz right now.
They got the big Arthrash show coming up in just a couple of weeks as well at the New York Tennis Stadium, which is going to have, I thought I saw like 25,000 in attendance.
Speaking of Arthrash, when you get a chance, you might want to actually look at what the Arthrash statue looks like in Richmond, Virginia. Okay, so I saw it for the first time yesterday, and apparently when the statue was constructed, I mean, it's him with kids sitting down and he's holding up a book and a tennis racket, but the angle that the statue's built at, it actually looks like he's beating these other statue children. Check it out when you get a chance. It's a pretty awkward looking statue.
And that's Richmond, Virginia, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Didn't they just take down all those statues? Wasn't Robert E. Lee's statue just taken down like a week ago?
A couple days ago, but they left Arthrash statue up, thankfully.
Matthew Thomas, you are the ones that bring the stuff from the South that I don't know if we should be talking about on this project.
No, just look at the statue. It's a very, it's an interesting looking statue.
Let's move on. Let's talk about Johnathon Coachman, who was in the news a little recently here. He was on adfreeshows.com, which we saw a lot of pubs for during All Out. Did we not?
You saw a lot of that, and then you saw a lot of, actually, I had to remember, was it All Out? I think it was the NWA pay-per-view that I watched. You saw a lot of Dave LaGreca heads in the crowd, too.
That was probably the NWA, but on All Out, we saw a lot of adfreeshows.com. But Johnathon Coachman was on, and his conversation was about his last run in WWE, which I thought went really weird. Now, Coachman, I still hear that dude's voice every day. Do you know why?
Because that's what your conscience sounds like.
Nope. He is on the Madden video game. He's the halftime report guy. We're going to send it to Orlando with the coach. So he's been on Madden for the last 3 years. But my point is, let's talk about Coach and the last run that he had in 2018. Coach had basically started off in wrestling, wanted to move on to sports. And if you remember, I believe Coach is the conduit, and this article and this interview kind of confirms that. Coach was the conduit between ESPN and WWE getting that working relationship going. Coach was the one that would interview the wrestlers when they came on the Sports Center. Then you had Todd Grisham over there for a while. You had a couple other people back and forth between ESPN and WWE. But in his second run, when he came back, remember Coach was going to go do commentary again? He came back in 2018, and the WWE said, it's fine, come on back, knowing full well that he had to deal with the PGA to do commentary for the golf tournaments, and it's going to conflict with a bunch of Monday Night Raw dates. Yeah. WWE insisted it wouldn't be an issue, which eventually became an issue, and they tried to get him to change his PGA contract so he doesn't miss any Raws. Coach wasn't having it, and honestly, I think they did what they do in the company is they kind of bullied him and tried to get him to do it. Corey Graves said he wouldn't work with him, and I think that was the office whispering in Corey Graves' ear, say it'd make it difficult for Coach, and Coach left. Now, Kevin Dunn, he says that Kevin Dunn was the one that kept bugging Coach when he was over at ESPN to get the exposure for WWE. So I really can't believe that they brought him back in, knowing what it was going to be. Hey, man, I got like 8 or 9 dates in September or whatever it is that I can't be here. You good with that? Okay, cool. And then say, nah, we're not good with that anymore.
Yeah, and it just that last Coach run, it seemed a little bit something seemed a little bit off, and nothing on his commentary performance or anything. It did not seem like it was necessarily the fit that you thought it was going to be when he initially came back in. And I think a lot of that is what he did in his time away from the company, and the fact that, he really increased his stock as,
right. He's no longer the dancing goofball that The Rock makes.
No. I mean,
remember Coachman doing the Charleston.
Yeah, a very well-known broadcast professional. And it almost sounds like WWE thought it was just, this is the same old Coach coming back, and doesn't quite work like that.
To be honest, though, and this is not a disrespectful shot at Byron Saxton, but don't they already have a coach named Byron Saxton?
What is Byron Saxton coach? Is he a coach as well?
No. What I'm saying to you is he's that third analyst, because again, as long as we understand it is 2021, this is wrestling, and there's some old school boys in the office, and just this disrespect that we heard from WWE to Johnathon Coachman, I'm pretty sure that's why Byron Saxton is in the spot that he's in. Not because he's not talented, because Byron's very talented, but that's where Coach is supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's the more of these peaks we get behind the curtain as far as what's going on there.
Yeah,
it's something.
Let's talk about Mick Foley. Mickles, not happy, just like the rest of the internet and wrestling universe, not happy with the way WWE is handling Karrion Kross and Keith Lee. And there's talk that Adam Cole, right before he left WWE, it was pitched that he was going to be Keith Lee's heel manager, like a Leo Rush, this little skinny guy hiding behind a big black guy. What the hell?
Oh my goodness!
That comes from the Dave Meltzer mouth.
One of the most talented in-ring performers you got in the company. Let's keep him out of the ring, and let's
there was talk they would change his last name as well, because we don't want him confused between Michael Cole and Adam Cole.
No, you might think they're kin, or that's his son or something.
Man, seriously,
no, absolutely.
You got AEW doing Page and Cage and Cage and Page, and then you had what was the one that we talked about last night that was even close? Soho and Riho, and
and you've got multiple Adams, and especially if you bring Strowman in as his real name, you're going to have another Adam. Let me ask you this. We joke about it, and it seems like it's accidental, but do you think there's part of AEW brass that are going out of their way to have people of the similar names on the roster just because it's something WWE would never do?
If Jim Ross has anything to do with that, he would tell them to knock it off, because he's already got the names wrong a few times. So, and he's not doing it on purpose. They're making it difficult for commentary.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, remember, he said that Moxley was the WWE champion at one point.
Yeah. Could you imagine the reaction had they gone through with that, and you see Cole?
I honestly think that JR, and I love JR, but I think that there's a chance he's going to call him Daniel Bryan. at some point. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that, and you've got to look at it too. I mean, yeah, he's going to slip up, but he
gets called that name for years.
Right. Exactly. And that's something Shivani's doesn't have going with him, and something Excalibur doesn't have.
Right.
I mean, a lot of this talent, because he actually did go ahead with Ruby Riott the other night. I think he let a Ruby Riott slip.
Probably. And it happens, and I understand it. And again, nothing about it at all. Let's talk about SmackDown from tonight. Big show at Madison Square Garden. A new tag team title.
I thought he was in AEW.
The Big Show? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice try. Big Show doesn't exist anymore. Paul White is in AEW.
Oh, okay.
But it's a very big show. Well, it's a very big show. All right. At the Garden tonight, we've got a title match just added. It's a title match between the Usos and the Street Profits, and they're asking for something along the lines of smoke.
Huh. I thought MSG was a non-smoking venue.
It's possible, but the Profits are asking for the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they can work with the city and maybe the athletic commission and get some of those smoking limitations and some local ordinances lifted. I don't know if they're gonna have any luck with that though.
Here's what else we got going on the big show. They've got a very large show tonight. The return of Brock Lesnar to SmackDown. SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair signed their Extreme Rules contract. You're going to have Seth Rollins taking on Edge. This is a pay-per-view night. Yeah. John Cena is technically advertised to appear, but it's likely for a dark match in the main event. MSG is promoting Cena and the Profits taking on Reigns and the Usos. Yeah. So I bet you that happens right after the main event.
Yeah, WWE needs a big night, and there's no better place, no better venue to do it at than MSG. But, I mean, you're not going to reset, but to a certain extent, but you're going to have that star power. You're going to have that interest of having Lesnar there. And my question to you is, what do we get? And do we get anything solidified as far as when Roman and Brock lock up?
Roman and Rock or Roman and Brock?
Roman and Brock.
When is Brock or Rock going to change the name? Because that's too confusing, too.
Yeah, it really. Could you imagine if they wrestled each other? My goodness.
Here comes Bob Lesnar.
Oh,
Dwayne Johnson.
That would be great if they just that you got to do it. You got to do it with Brock. You just got to one night just go all in calling Bob, just retcon the whole thing, never address why the name change happened. Bob Lesnar.
WWE.com is also advertising at this show. You're going to see Bobby Lashley, Charlotte Flair, Randy Orton, and Riddle, the New Day, and Drew McIntyre. So I think they're going to have, honestly, a lot of pre-show and post-show appearances as well.
Yeah, or maybe they, work it within the context of the storyline, and it's one of the 3 times a year where multiple people can appear.
Quite possibly, but think of this. This show is happening, 2 weeks before the Arthrash show for AEW.
Yeah. That's right, man. They're working that same market.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, AEW came into New York. New York has always been WWE territory.
Yeah.
And don't forget, we got Rampage tonight as well. So.
Yep. No, I mean, it's an exciting night of wrestling, and we're gonna get Pac and Andrade.
Andrade El Idolo.
Yes.
All right. Well, Matthew, what they're going to get, the listeners are going to get, is me telling you about the PWR draft. Now, we haven't talked about it in about a hot minute, right?
Yeah.
Have we explained what happened?
Oh, yeah. I'm fully aware of what happened.
Have we explained on the air what happened?
I'm fully aware that despite points attempted to being stolen from me, I got some business done, and I actually managed to get points over a pay-per-view weekend when I did not have any competitors in the actual pay-per-view. I think that is one of the greatest moves that's ever happened in PWR draft history.
It is a move that happened. It is a move that is amazing, but it's not a move that gets you in first place. You were in first place for, as the kids say, about a minute.
That's correct. Well,
go ahead.
Congratulations to you and Linda for your productive weekend, but it just goes to further illustrate my strategy is working perfectly.
The accounting firm of Dewey, Cheatham & Howe did find a mistake in the accounting, brought up by Team Nelson Mandela. He was awarded points for acquiring Edge when I thought, and the accounting firm thought, that he'd still been holding on to Orange Cassidy. So he dropped somebody from AEW to pick up Edge, which gave him 2 pay-per-views worth of appearances, matches, and a win in there as well.
Good thing that I did that on tape. I did it before the very ears of the listeners. And thanks to that thing they call the internet now, we can go back across our various platforms and we can pinpoint the exact moment that I picked up Edge. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's official. But then AEW All Out happened. The accounting firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe has the totals like this. The man they call Meathead back in where he should be in first place. You know, if the lead only changes, let me say that again. Boy, I got all excited there. The lead only changes if you're the view only changes if you're the lead dog. Wow. You know, I'm going to try to come up with a pun that doesn't twist my tongue up there. 1,810 points for the man they call Meathead and the team they call Meatheads. In second place, leapfrogging over Matthew Thomas, is the lovely Linda Kay at 1,435. And then way back in dead last, 1,335 points, Matthew Thomas. You're 100 behind Linda.
Oh, yeah. You see, that's a position right there where I can assess my competition and wait to make my move.
Over the pay-per-view weekend, like Matthew stated, he didn't score any points at All Out, but Linda Kay scored 400 with her very late pickup of CM Punk. And then the man they call Meathead with his earlier in the week, I think it was 2 weeks ago, pickup of the Lucha Brothers. I almost got shorted by the accounting firm until they recounted again. I forgot to give Linda and Meathead specialty points for that tag team cage match.
Oh my goodness, just so much. It seems like they're making a lot of oversights here recently. We might have to audit that firm.
They're an auditing firm, so you want to audit the audit firm?
You got to audit the audit firm. You know, that's the thing. You've got to have these rules and these checks and balances in place.
Okay, well, fair enough. Next pay-per-view on the docket will be WWE's Extreme Rules. Matthew, you have a bunch of champions. How do you see it playing out?
Here's the thing. I see a WWE specific roster in Team Nelson Mandela. I see Extreme Rules, which the name kind of dictates that there's going to be some specialty matches there. So I see another piece of Team Nelson Mandela's year-long strategy falling into place.
Well, he could also lose in those matches as well. So WWE Extreme Rules will be happening September 26, 2021. And, things looking up for Matthew, but not as far as they're looking up for the man they call Meathead and Linda Kay as well. Sorry to put you back down into reality there, Matthew. But the PWR draft is here for your entertainment and ours as well. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Like and subscribe. Make sure you're sharing this as well. Make sure to like us on Facebook and YouTube and Apple Podcast and Spotify. Make sure you're telling your friends. The numbers growing as we speak, day by day. I love looking at those stat sheets at the end of the week. So for Matthew Thomas, I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. So long, everyone.